Remember when France won the World Cup?
French President Emmanuel Macron was jubilant in the stands, to say the least.
And then Trevor Noah, in his genius comical way, pointed out that it was as if the African Union team was the one that won and not the French team. And this is what he said.
Yes! Yes, I'm so excited. Africa won the World Cup. 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 I mean, look, I get it. They have to say it's the French team, but look at those guys, huh? Look at those guys. You don't get that tan by hanging out in the south of France, my friends.
What followed was an outcry from the French media and the French government. The French ambassador to the US wrote a protest letter to Trevor asking him to apologize. And in the letter, he said that in France, they never categorized people from where they came from, because everyone in France was French.
With great attention your July 17th show when you spoke of the victory of the French team at the 2018 FIFA World Cup Russia final, which took place last Sunday. I heard your words about an African victory. Nothing could be less true. As many of the players have already stated themselves, their parents may have come from another country, but the great majority of them, all but 2 out of 23, were born in France. They were educated in France. They learned to play soccer in France. They are French citizens. They are proud of their country, France. The rich and various backgrounds of these players is a reflection of France's diversity.
But today, that has changed. It so happens that people from Africa or with African origin are not French after all. By now, you've seen in the news that there have been this massive protest in France where young people are protesting police brutality. And this is after a young man was shot by the police without arrest. And now the people mostly from Africa and North Africa, Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco who live in that part of France, south of France, they're protesting because this is something that has been going on for a long time.
France has fallen. Protests sweep across the nation after a teenage boy was shot dead by police.
Now, it turns out the French government and a lot of politicians are saying that these are Africans, even though all these protesters are actually French citizens. So Trevor Noah predicted this. He prophesied this, though it's too obvious, too predictable, because when it comes to the racist French government and the French media, Africans or African descendants are good citizens when they win them the World Cup, but when they protest for their own rights, then they become Africans and unnecessary evil. And this is the colonial mentality that France still has, and they still practice that same colonial mentality on the African continent.